Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot for October 21st. Now I am recording this sort of the afternoon of Tuesday. So if anything truly crazy happens later on today or into the evening, obviously it's not going to be reflected here unless somehow the answer comes through in some other form or some other way. So I want to start today's reading using my pendulum. So for those of you who like to use yours along with, grab that pendulum. Okay, so for those of you who are new to this channel, I almost always use this pendulum when I'm doing political questions. And as you can see right now, it is going side to side, and that is an indicator. It's programmed so that is an indicator to let me know that it is now ready to receive questions. Pendulum, please show me yes. And you'll see it as a back and forth motion. And pendulum, show me no. And as you can see, it's round and round. You may notice a slight tremor or movement in my hand. That is because literally the energy is coursing through my body to get to the pendulum. And so there's an energy force that is literally surrounding my hand and surrounding the pendulum as I'm getting these answers. For those of you new to this channel, you will also note that this pendulum responds very, very quickly to my questions. And that is simply a matter of the trust that the pendulum and I have developed. And so once it gets started answering questions, it's very, very quick, to respond to the questions I ask. And again, please, for those of you who use your pendulum along with me and always get like almost the same answers, let me know. I think it's fabulous. And I think for some of the people out there who may be skeptics, to realize that there is a group of people out there who ask these questions along with me, and their pendulums also get the same answer. So that goes beyond kind of the wishing that I got a certain answer. And I can promise you I've got answers from this pendulum that I didn't want to hear. So it doesn't, the answers are not reflective of what I would like. They are reflective of the energies at the moment. Okay. I want to start with, there are 9 states that really are swing states. These are the states where the answers, the election is going to come from. This is where the votes are going to go one way or the other for either candidate. So I'm going to go through and I want to start. There's these 9 states. So Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Florida. And I gotta say, whoever ever would have thought Georgia and North Carolina would be literally a swing state, literally just be a toss-up. Like people actually are not sure what's going to happen because the 2 candidates are polling so closely together. It's amazing what is going on out there. So just a little bit of kind of quirky information for you. As of right now, there is an 87% chance that Biden wins the election. I guess those are the odd makers or whatever they are, but they're saying as of right now today, it's 87% that Biden will win. It is anticipated that Biden will win the Electoral College by 346 to 192. So well over the 270 that Biden is going to need. And they anticipate that Biden is likely to win the popular vote by about 8 points. So clearly he's the favorite going into this, all right? The other interesting thing was there has been so much early voting going on. It is, I think, amazing everybody. And they anticipate that between 150 and 160 million votes are going to be cast before November 3rd. So, as a Canadian, way to go, you guys. You're doing amazing. You're smashing records all over the place. You're not falling for the disinformation. You're not panicking. You're simply voting. You're doing what needs to be done. And so, congratulations. Like, good job. And more early voting places are opening up as more and more states sort of come online with the early voting. So those numbers are just going to continue to be amazing. Okay, let's take a look at, now the other thing is these are all states, all 9 of them, are states that Trump won in 2016. All of them. Let's see where they are right now, shall we? Is Biden likely to win Michigan? That's a pretty solid yes right there. Okay. And I'm going to do these, it's going to be the same question for every single state. Is Biden likely to win Wisconsin? Also, a very strong yes. Iowa. Is Biden likely to win Iowa? Right now, that looks like a no. Now, the pendulum isn't able to say he wins it by 2 points or 10 points. For right now, it's just looking like that is the state that Trump is going to take. Ohio. Is Biden going to win Ohio? Wow, and that pendulum started to answer yes even before I finished getting the question out. And for those of you wondering, that is because literally the pendulum is picking up on my energy. So in a kind of crazy way, it's actually reading my mind, okay? Pennsylvania. Is Biden going to take Pennsylvania? Yes. As of right now, does it look like Biden is going to win North Carolina? Yes. Is Biden going to take Georgia? Is Georgia going to go for Biden? Right now, that is a no. Arizona. Is Arizona going to swing for Biden? Yes. And Florida, which right now really is considered quite the little toss-up state. Is Biden going to take Florida? Is Biden going to come through on Florida? Yes, he is. So, interesting, eh? All right, I got some more questions. Okay, so we're going to ask them and then we're going to get on kind of with, excuse me, a card reading. Okay, so these are my questions. We're going to start with Senate races, all right? So, now I have to tell you, I've been, checking these things sort of in my own time. And for months and months, I have been saying, the pendulum has been saying that McConnell is going to lose Kentucky. I got a very unexpected answer when I asked the pendulum this. Let's ask it again and see, shall we? Is Mitch McConnell going to win his seat in Kentucky? And you can see that he's now getting a very strong yes. I'm not sure what's happened or shifted. Again, energy shift, and so therefore the answers shift. But I was prompted to ask this question. So first, is Mitch McConnell going to be leader of the Senate? And that is a pretty darn strong no. And that led me to this question. Is Mitch McConnell likely to still be a member of the Senate 6 months after the election? And you're also seeing that is a really strong no. So one wonders, even if he wins the seat, if he retires, if he steps back, or if something happens that causes him to need to leave the Senate. So that was interesting. But again, it is exactly opposite of the answer that we have been getting for some time now. So just putting it out there, things can change. Is Lindsey Graham going to hold his seat in the Senate? And that remains a strong no. Stop. Thank you. Is Jamie Harrison going to win the Senate seat that was held by Lindsey Graham? And that is a very strong yes. And this is the thing to remember. Apparently, the RNC has dumped something like $20 million into the Graham campaign because he literally is neck and neck with a Democrat, Jamie Harrison. And so the Republicans are a little wigged out because that seat should just never, ever be up for grabs, but apparently it is. Let us continue. Is Susan Collins of Maine going to hold her Senate seat? No. Is Doug Jones of Alabama a Democrat? Is he going to be able to hold his Senate seat in Alabama? No. Cory Gardner of Colorado, is Cory Gardner going to be able to hold on to his Senate seat in this coming election? No. Martha McSally of Arizona. Is Martha McSally of Arizona going to hold her Senate seat in this election? Not a chance. Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Is Tom Tillis of North Carolina going to hold his Senate seat in this election? And that's another very strong no. Joni Ernst. Is Joni Ernst of Iowa, who apparently does not know the cost of soybeans on the market right now, is she actually going to be able to hold on to her Senate seat? Great big no there for Joni Ernst. Stephen Daines in Montana. Is Stephen Daines going to hold his Senate seat? No. David Perdue of Georgia. Is he going to hold his Senate seat? Doesn't look like it. And Gary Peters of Michigan, who is the other Democrat that is listed here, is Gary Peters, Democrat in Michigan, is he going to hold his seat? And right now that's looking like a yes. Okay, so according to this, you have Graham, Collins, Cory Gardner, McSally, Thomas, Ernst, Daines, and Perdue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Republican senators who at this point look like they are not going to hold their seat. That absolutely does give the Democrats the Senate majority. Okay, let's just ask a couple quick questions. Is Amy Coney Barrett going to be confirmed as a Supreme Court justice? Is she going to get the votes she needs? And that's a really big no. And you know what? You're seeing this on Wednesday. That vote is tomorrow. And I don't know. The answer's consistent. Again, it's one of those ones where I can't quite figure it out because apparently Mitch McConnell absolutely should have the votes to cram this nomination through. We shall see. And again, understand, the pendulum is not 100% right every single time because it really does read the energies that are currently kind of in play, okay? Just for comfort. Is Biden going to win the 2020 election? Yes. Is Biden going to win the Electoral College vote? Yes. Is Biden going to be sworn in as president on January 20th, 2021 for the inauguration? Is it Biden who is getting sworn in? Yes. Is Trump still going to be in the White House come January for the inauguration? No. Is the win going to be big enough for the Democrats that there really is no question of the winner? Yes. Might there be one or two states where there are questions and recounts or whatever need to be done? Is that likely to happen? Yes. Is that likely to happen in more than 5 states? No. Is there going to be a peaceful transition of power? Yes. All righty. Those are today's pendulum questions and answers. I hope you've enjoyed that. And again, please let me know as you do it along with me, how many answers if you get a lot of yes answers, the same answers, let me know. I always find it fascinating that people all over the place seem to consistently get the same answers. So that's fascinating. I thought today, because of all the crazy going, the other thing I want to mention to you is this is really interesting because the pendulum has consistently said there will not be a third debate. And again, you're seeing this on Wednesday. That debate is scheduled for tomorrow night. And it consistently says, nope, that's not going to happen. Trump is going to pull out and cancel. So, we shall see. But the insight or the flash that I got was that the only thing that could get Trump to actually show up at that debate is him thinking that he has a strategy to beat the mute button, right? Because there's going to be portions of that debate where people, either side has their mic muted so the other person can give a 2-minute undisturbed answer. The only way that Trump is going to attend that debate is if he thinks he has some sort of a strategy where in all the remaining time, he can literally bully or blast his way or be his usual ignorant, abusive self and really try to rattle Biden, okay? But I have to tell you, if he does that, so if the debate actually goes through and Trump actually shows up and Trump actually is there, it feels very much like his behavior is going to be so outrageous that there's going to be some sort of a significant kerfluffle about it. I don't know. Maybe he could just stomp off the stage. Maybe he just is acting so erratic that there isn't any explanation for what he does or says. And let's face it, come on, right now he's ranting against Fauci. I mean, poor Dr. Fauci, honestly, what is his problem with this guy telling the truth? Okay, but apparently there's a huge one. You know, he's trying to get that story moving about Hunter Biden and some emails found in some laptop. The story apparently is so ridiculous that even Fox is not airing it because they actually think that there might be credibility questions. But, you know, not Trump, man. Trump's going to keep trying to cram that. He's going to be screaming about Biden being a criminal. Now he's talking about reporters being criminals because they aren't, you know, encouraging sort of big exposés on whatever it was that he thinks Biden did. He's screaming at Bill Barr publicly because Bill Barr refuses to arrest Joe Biden. Okay, this is what we're at now. This is the kind of insanity that we're dealing with. And so today, I thought that I would simply ask the cards, you know, what do we most need to know? What do we, as we head into these last 2 weeks, literally it's now 13 days from the election, what do Americans, and in some cases by extension others in the world, in other countries, what do we most need to know and remember as these next couple of weeks unfold? That's my question. Let's see if we can get an answer, shall we? One more shuffle. Come on down. I have a question. Spirit, what is it that we should most remember? What is it you would most like us to know about the next couple of weeks as we head into November 3rd? Here we go, shall we? Need to know next 2 weeks. Need to know next 2 weeks. Need to know next 2 weeks. Here we go. Okay, well, so people are making decisions. Oh, and for those of you wondering, yes, I absolutely do have my incredible wand back here today. It was a lovely, lovely gift from Paul, White Dragon. And I really do cherish it. It really helps me focus energy. Okay, so right now, people are deciding, they're making decisions, but the really important thing to understand is that people are very firm in their decisions. They are not waffling, okay? Now, there might be 2 or 3% of the people who really, truly are still undecided, although honestly, that kind of boggles my mind a little bit. But kind of the message is even people who don't love Biden, for an example, are very rock solid in their support. And those people are also very, very conscientious of voting down ballot. So the bottom line is people are engaged, literally almost to a degree that they haven't been in previous elections, maybe because there wasn't quite so much hanging on the balance. And yeah, you know what? There's absolutely friction out there, okay? People are still, you know, squawking and squabbling. There's infighting going on literally within the Trump campaign, but there's still infighting kind of going on, you know, with families. I mean, he's done a really terrific job of destroying families, whether that is because of his divisiveness, whether that is because it's his incompetence with COVID, whatever it is, he's done a really, really good job. And you know what? People remember that, all right? People really do. They're not going to forget as they're going into the polls, as they're voting, and I know many of you have already voted. They're not going to forget. And listen, if he actually shows up at that debate and he puts on a performance, which he's guaranteed to do, he is going to lose even more support, which seems almost impossible, but his numbers are going to take a staggering drop again, okay? And remember, a lot of Republicans wait until Election Day to vote. So the reality is, he really does still have time to antagonize his base. They want you, however, to be reassured that literally the White House there's going to be results really that indicate that the White House is once again going to regain sort of some of its respect. And, definitely this looks like that Biden is going to win and Trump is going to fall to defeat. Biden is going to bring in a team of people that are going to be amazing in terms of getting stuff done. Correcting stuff, getting new things, kind of moving forward. He has already, for the most part, got his team in place. Okay, he knows there might be a couple where it's one or the other where he's making choices, but really he has a great deal of what he wants his presidency to look like. Those pieces are already falling into place behind the scenes. And so he's not going to try to handle everything. He is going to be a master delegator, right? It's like, okay, this is my priority. Kamala, this is your priority. And Department of Justice, this is your priority. Department of Health Services, this is your priority. It's going to kind of go like that. So again, you're being offered reassurance that no matter how crazy the next couple of weeks are, no matter how chaotic, ultimately, you have a strong presidential nominee who is really, really in place and really looking to course correct as quickly as can be done. There's Trump defending himself and with a broken heart. So, there you have it, right? His behavior is going to continue to be erratic. And you know what? It's been erratic for 4 years, but trust me, the next couple of weeks, honestly, they're going to be a sight to behold because he is going to be careening out of control. There is no controlling him. There is no calming him down. He literally wants to be doing 2 and 3 rallies a day, every single day until the election. Well, I guess that's a good thing, except it's absolutely going to zap whatever strength or vitality he has. And let me tell you, it's not very high. It's absolutely going to zap it because he doesn't really have the energy to maintain his dream. He just doesn't, okay? On the other hand, there is good news coming for America. For the majority of Americans, they are going to see the election fulfilling a dream or a wish or a hope. And in the next couple of weeks, there's going to continue to be support for the election, for the people running, whether that is monetarily, whether that is people who are working in the polls. And by the way, Jay, thank you very, very much. Jay is a viewer from Florida, and he is working the polls in one small area of Florida, and I have forgotten what the area was. But he says the turnout, despite the torrential rains that happened there on Monday, was unbelievably strong, like something like over 1,000 people in the 6 little areas within, I guess, the precinct that he is working in. So thank you very, very much for that. And listen, if there are other poll workers out there, let me know how it's going. If there are people out there who are saying, you know what, listen, I'm literally seeing Trump signs vanish from people's front yards. Or, whatever your experience is in the next couple of weeks, please let us know, because we're all reading the comments, and, it's a really good way to kind of to spread the news, especially if it's good news. And frankly, we could all use some of that. So, but the support is going to continue to build on the Biden side, and it's not going to be maintainable on the Trump side, simply because he is going to be so erratic. Like, he is not going to not only does he not want to accept whatever the results are, he doesn't even want to accept any news that is not part of his kind of vision of what his sense of reality is. And this is the thing. Trump is that kind of a person who, when he is presented with information, if it does not exactly line up, he completely rejects it. If it does not line up with his belief system, it is fake. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the polls. It doesn't matter what his election, re-election people are saying. It doesn't matter what the Republicans are saying. He actually, give your head a shake, but he actually still believes that he is only going to be judged in this election in part by his handling of COVID. That's entirely what this election is now about. But apparently he doesn't think it's that big a deal, okay? So the other thing that they want you to know is, you need to be super, super careful about trickery, particularly internet trickery, okay? Be very careful what you are consuming. Be very careful what information you are ingesting and taking it as real. The next couple of weeks are going to be the primary push to convince those who have not yet voted to not bother to vote. And this is the interesting thing, right? Is you keep hearing the Biden campaign saying, listen, it's not in the bag and we're not as rock solid as you think we are. And you need to get out and you need to vote. And the reason they keep repeating that message is because they don't want people to become complacent. Vote early if you possibly can, and be very mindful of misinformation. I mean, I'm even getting things like addresses for polls or operating hours are going to be changed, not in reality, but electronically somehow for, so you're getting information that is not accurate. So this is the time to be super, super mindful. And if it doesn't pass the smell test, put it down. Don't finish reading the article. Don't finish listening to whatever is out there, okay? This country, your country, is moving forward. And moving forward means it is not going backwards. And going backwards is about Trump, and going forwards is about Biden. There you have it. You're going to see that forward movement. You're going to see literally a stabilization of the country, and you're going to see sort of a return to balance and justice. So the next couple of weeks are going to be chaotic. There's going to be more news that comes out that really upsets Trump, really rattles him again. He's not winning, okay? He's not winning in the vast majority of things that have gone to the courts. There's going to be more bad news coming out, and the more bad news, the more erratic he's going to become, and frankly, the more like kind of he's going to become. Okay. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Once again, please let me know how your pendulum answers were in relation to mine. And as I said, people who are out there kind of on the scene, working in polls or whatever, let us know, because we're all reading the comments and we all really appreciate kind of that good news. Okay. Until next time, take care, be well, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.